Hello everyone, I Dr. Kirti Sahu shall discuss the concept of characteristic equation, eigenvalue and eigenvector. This is the preliminary lecture on characteristic equation, eigenvalue and eigenvector. Now this lecture is very important because it covers all the basic concepts required for solving the problems based on eigenvalue eigenvector, as well as here in this video lecture we shall discuss the various important properties of eigenvalues and eigenvectors which are required for cracking the competitive exam such as GATE, IES, etc. So let us begin with outline. So here we'll see the important definitions and then we'll discuss in brief the properties of eigenvalues and eigenvectors along with the examples. So let us start with the definitions. So let A be a square matrix of order n. Then the matrix A minus lambda I, where lambda is a scalar and the order of I is same as that of A, is called a characteristic matrix. So remember here, for getting the characteristic matrix, the matrix A must be a square matrix. So let us see this with the help of the example. So if A is a matrix 1, 2, 3, 2, then A minus lambda I is equal to, so we will write A minus lambda. What is I? I is a identity matrix of the same order. So 1, 0, 0, 1 now is equal to, what we do? We will multiply this matrix by lambda. So we get this matrix. Now what we observe here? We have the subtraction of the two matrices. So let us subtract corresponding elements. So it is 1 minus lambda, then 2 minus 0, 2, 3 minus 0, 3, and then 2 minus lambda. So like this we get the matrix A minus lambda I, which is called as a characteristic matrix. It is also called a secular matrix. Now let us see the next definition. That is, determinant of A minus lambda I equal to 0 or determinant of lambda I minus A equal to 0 is called characteristic equation. So if again we'll take the same example. So we have the matrix A minus lambda I, that is 1 minus lambda, 2, 3, 2 minus lambda. Write this in a determinant. Now solve this determinant. So multiply these two and then, so 1 minus lambda into 2 minus lambda minus 6. Simplify this. The characteristic equation is determinant of A minus lambda equal to 0. So lambda square minus 3 lambda minus 4 equal to 0. So this is called as a characteristic equation. The roots of the characteristic equation is called eigenvalue or latent roots or characteristic roots or proper value of the matrix A. So what is mean by eigenvalue? The roots of the characteristic equation. Now what will be roots of this? So that will be nothing but the values of lambda. Okay, so that's why we take lambda to denote the eigenvalue. So let us try to understand this with the help of example. Again I will take the same matrix. So determinant of A minus lambda equal to 0 is the characteristic equation. Now what is the value of this determinant? That is lambda square minus 3 lambda minus 4 equal to 0. Right. So this is a quadratic equation in lambda. Solve this quadratic equation either by Kelsey or by using the formula minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So we will get two values for lambda. Why two values? Because highest power of lambda over here is 2. So the two values are lambda equal to 4 and lambda equal to minus 1. So these two are called as eigenvalues, also called as latent roots, then proper values or characteristic roots or values. Now next we will see what is mean by eigenvector. So if we have a non-zero column vector which will satisfy this equation Ax equal to lambda x, that is A minus lambda I times x. I can write it as, taking on left hand side, x is common. Now what is left on in the first matrix? It is A. In the second term, what is left? Only lambda. But we cannot subtract lambda from a matrix, so this has to be a matrix. So we know that I into x is x. So when we take x common, what is left over here is I. That's why we can write it as A minus lambda I. Right? So this equation can also be written like this. So a non-zero column vector which will satisfy this equation is called eigenvector or characteristic vector or latent vector corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda. Now just see here some remarks regarding the above definition. So this equation so obtained always forms a homogeneous system of equation, and it will have a non-trivial solution only if determinant of A minus lambda I is 0. Right? So we don't want a 0 solution, otherwise it will not be a eigenvector. So we want a non-zero solution. So for getting the non-zero solution, the determinant of A minus lambda I must be 0. This is the first thing that one has to remember. Then second thing is, we will have n number of distinct eigenvalues. So for that we want to obtain n number of eigenvectors which are linearly independent. For n number of eigenvalues, we want n number of linearly independent eigenvectors. Now there may be possibility that the eigenvalues are same. So for eigenvalues as a same, what we do, we have to obtain again a linearly independent eigenvectors of, right, it need not be linearly dependent. So that we'll discuss how to obtain linearly independent eigenvector in case of equal eigenvalues when we shall go through the examples. Now let us come to the most important part of this video, that is properties of eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So the first property is, sum of eigenvalues of the matrix is trace of the matrix is equal to trace of the matrix. Now what is mean by trace? So trace means sum of elements of principal diagonal. Sum of elements of principal diagonal of the matrix is called trace of the matrix, right? So if we get eigenvalue, then we can get the trace of the matrix easily. That is nothing but sum of principal elements of principal diagonal of the matrix. Let us try to understand this with the help of example. So I'll again take the same example. What are the eigenvalues? As we have seen, it is 4n minus 1. Now take the sum of eigenvalues. So take the sum, what we have, 4 plus minus 1 is 3. So we have sum of eigenvalues as 3. Now trace means sum of the diagonal elements. What are the diagonal elements? It is 1 and 2. Take their sum. So what we have, 1 plus 2, 3. So therefore both comes out to be same. Hence this property gets verified. Okay. The next one. Product of eigenvalues of the matrix is equal to determinant of the matrix. So again I will take the same example. What are the eigenvalues? 4 and minus 1. Take their product. What will have? Minus 4. Then determinant. Also when we solve the determinant, so 1 into 2, 2 minus 3 into 2, 6. So 2 minus 6, that is what? Minus 4. So again what I am getting, that product of eigenvalue of the matrix is equal to determinant of the matrix. Hence property gets verified. Very important. If you have suppose the eigenvalues and you are asked to find out the determinant, so what we do, we'll just take the product of eigenvalues. Similarly, if I want to find out the trace of the matrix and eigenvalues are given, so just take the sum of the eigenvalues. Or if you need to verify whether the eigenvalues obtained are correct or not, so what we do, we'll just take the trace of the matrix. Trace means addition of the diagonal elements, and then we'll add the eigenvalues. If both comes out to be same, it means the eigenvalues so obtained is correct. So these properties are very important. Now if suppose we have k number of eigenvalues for a matrix A, right, then what, lambda 1 raised to m, lambda 2 raised to m, lambda k raised to m will be the eigenvalue of what, a power m, right. If these are values of a, then what will be the eigenvalues of a power m? Just raise the power m to each of the eigenvalues, that will be the eigenvalues of a raised to power m, where a must be a positive integer. Now, so let us try to understand it with the help of same example. We have the matrix. What are the eigenvalues? 4n minus 1. Suppose I want to find out eigenvalue of a square. So what is a square is this matrix. So we will not find out the eigenvalues of this separately. What, as we know the eigenvalue of a, so what will be its eigenvalue? Just raise the power 2 to the eigenvalue of a. What are the eigenvalues of a? That are 4n minus 1. So raise the power 2 to 4. So what it will be? 4 square, that is 16. What is the next eigenvalue? Minus 1. Again raise the power 2 to that. So minus 1 square will be 1. So like this, without solving characteristic equation, if you know the eigenvalue of a matrix A, then you can get the eigenvalue of any power of the same matrix. Okay, the next one. If lambda is the eigenvalue of the matrix A, okay, lambda is the eigenvalue of matrix A, then 1 by lambda is the eigenvalue of A inverse. Again, one of the advantage of the property, that if we know the eigenvalue of A and we need to find out the eigenvalue of A inverse, so we will not go through the exact evaluation of the eigenvalue. What we do, we'll just take 1 by lambda, reciprocal of the eigenvalue will be the eigenvalue of A inverse. Let us try to understand with the help of same example. A is a matrix whose eigenvalues are 4n minus 1. Now let us take the inverse of this. As it is 2 by 2 matrix, so let us find inverse by adjoint method. Recall, what is the inverse by adjoint method? It is inverse upon determinant of A. So let us find adjoint of this. Now, as it is 2 by 2 matrix, so how to get the adjoint? We can write it directly. What we do? Interchange diagonal elements. Interchange diagonal elements and change the sign of remaining element. So what will be? It is 2 here. So now it becomes minus 2. 3 here. So it becomes minus 3. So this matrix is adjoint of A. And then divided by determinant. What will be its determinant? Minus 4. So that's why minus 1 by 4 is in multiplication. So this is the A inverse. Okay. Now let us try to get whether the property is true or not. So we will solve it by our usual process. Write down the characteristic equation. So characteristic equation for this matrix will be this. Simplify. We get a second order equation in lambda. Solve this. So what we find? Lambda is 1 by 4 and lambda is minus 1. So what is the reciprocal of 4? 1 by 4. Reciprocal of minus 1? Minus 1. Hence this property gets verified. So we can directly write the eigenvalue of A inverse if we know the eigenvalue of A just by taking its reciprocal. Now next is, if lambda is the eigenvalue of orthogonal matrix. Now recollect, what is mean by orthogonal matrix? Orthogonal matrix means when A into A transpose is equal to I. A into A transpose is equal to I, or when A transpose and A inverse are equal. That is called orthogonal matrix. Okay. Then 1 by lambda is also its eigenvalue. So this property is helpful if we know at least one of the eigenvalues. Say if I know A is a 2 by 2 matrix and one of the eigenvalues is given, then you can find out the other one directly by applying this property. Okay. So let us see, if A is this, first what we have to check whether it is orthogonal or not. This is applicable only for orthogonal matrix. Okay, so A transpose, A into A transpose comes out to be I, that is identity matrix. Hence this A is a orthogonal matrix, right? And 1 is nothing but its eigenvalue. So what will be another eigenvalue? It will be 1 by 1, that is 1. So its eigenvalues are 1 and 1. Now note here, whenever we have an orthogonal matrix, then the determinant of the orthogonal matrix is either 1 or minus 1. Determinant of orthogonal matrix is 1 or minus 1. Right. Now the next property, if determinant of A is 0, then one of the eigenvalues must be 0 and vice versa. Let us check. If A is this, find its determinant. Obviously it comes out to be 0. So we'll find out the characteristic equation in order to find out its eigenvalues. So characteristic equation is how to obtain this characteristic equation. From diagonal elements, what we do, we'll subtract lambda. So 4 minus lambda, 1 minus lambda, and remaining element as it is, write it within the determinant sign. So these parallel strips, right, equal to 0. Simplify this. What we have, lambda square minus 5 lambda equal to 0. Now solve this, you will get lambda as 0 and 5. So according to this property, if determinant is 0, then one of the eigenvalue must be 0. So this property is verified, right? So you can write this directly. If suppose eigenvalue is given as 0 and you are asked to find out what is the determinant. So without calculating determinant, one can write it as 0. And this is true both the way. That is, if determinant 0, eigenvalue 0, or if eigenvalue 0, then determinant is 0. The next property is, if A is diagonal. Okay, what is meant by diagonal? Diagonal matrix means all element above the diagonal as well as below the diagonals are 0. Upper triangular means all element below the diagonal 0. Lower triangular means all element above the diagonal 0. Then the diagonal elements of A are the eigenvalues of A. So if we have a matrix as diagonal or upper triangular or lower triangular, then the diagonal elements are nothing but the eigenvalues. So let us verify it with the help of this simple example. Now what is the nature of this matrix? Diagonal, upper triangular or lower triangular? So this is a upper triangular matrix, as all element below the diagonal is 0. So let us write its characteristic equation. So that is determinant of A minus lambda equal to 0. Okay. Now, so from diagonal elements subtract lambda, remaining elements as it is, write it in a two parallel strips, is equal to 0. Simplify 2 minus lambda into 4 minus lambda minus 3 into 0. So 0 equal to 0. Now simplify this. So what we have, lambda square minus 6 lambda plus 8 equal to 0. On solving this, we get lambda as 2 and 4. Now see here, 2 and 4. 2 and 4 are what? These are nothing but the elements in the diagonal. Hence this property gets satisfied. So without solving the characteristic equation, if one can observe that the nature of the diagonal, this given matrix is diagonal or upper triangular or lower triangular, then one can write directly what are the eigenvalues. This we have verified here. The eigenvalues are 2 and 4, which are nothing but the diagonal elements. The next is properties. A and A transpose have same eigenvalues. A and A transpose have same eigenvalues because it goes with the types of the row operations, and as we know that the row operation does not change the nature of the matrix in its characteristic cases. So if we have, again I will take the same matrix. What are the eigenvalues? 2 and 4. Take the transpose. So 2, 3, 0, 4. If you will find out the characteristic equation for this, you will find again the eigenvalues are 2 and 4, or you can verify this with the help of above property. Now in this case it is a upper triangular matrix, that's why it has eigenvalues 2 and 4. Now when I take the transpose, this becomes what? Lower triangular matrix. So obviously according to this property, its diagonal elements are nothing but eigenvalues. So that's why 2 and 4. Hence no need to solve the characteristic equation in such case. Okay, so therefore A and A transpose have same eigenvalues. Then A minus Ki has eigenvalues as the eigenvalue of A is lambda, and Ki has the eigenvalue as K. So lambda minus K for any scalar K, and alpha times A has eigenvalues alpha times the eigenvalue of A, that is what? Lambda. So like this we have gone through almost all the properties of the eigenvalues and eigenvector. Now let us have some few more important definition. The set of eigenvalues is called spectrum of A. Set of eigenvalues. Now what does it mean? It means if suppose we have a 2 by 2 matrix, how many eigenvalues are expected? It should have 2. If it is 2 by 2 matrix, A will have 2 eigenvalue. If A is 3 by 3 matrix, A will have 3 eigenvalues. Obviously, so the set of those 2 eigenvalues is called spectrum. And the largest eigenvalue in magnitude, means neglecting the negative sign, is called the spectral radius of A. The largest eigenvalue in magnitude is called spectral radius of A. Just like if suppose I will take previous examples, right? So this set of 2 and 4 is called spectrum, whereas the largest of these two, what is the largest of these two? 4. So 4 will be called as spectral radius of A. Then next one is, if A is a square matrix of order n, obviously having n linearly independent eigenvectors, then we can find a non-singular matrix B such that B inverse AB is a diagonal form. So this matrix B is called as a modal matrix. So in short, what is modal matrix? Modal matrix is nothing but a matrix of eigenvectors. Matrix of eigenvectors. If we have lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3 as an eigenvalue, so we will denote eigenvectors by x1, x2, x3. So this matrix of x1, x2, x3 is called as a modal matrix. So I hope all the properties of eigenvectors are clear to you, as well as we have gone through the definition of spectrum, spectral radius and modal matrix. So based on this, we will solve the example and we will go through the working rule to how to solve the examples in the next video. Thank you for watching the video.